high likelihood of getting hit with the Nether Grasp since he's right in the front line. But most importantly is that he's not really as needed for damage when you have the Vayne on the team. And in fact, that healing boost, while he has Spell Vamp in his ultimate, going to give him a lot better tankiness and survivability as well.
That's a great point.
So that's a really, really cool addition. We have the same Spirit Visage on Yorick as well, which is going to help with his healing with his ghouls also. So you have this really, really tanky, magic-resistant front line that is synergizing very nicely with their abilities to kind of stay up and stay relevant.
I mean, his tier is still stacking too, so I mean, it doesn't really slow down his Seraphs really much at all.
And I love the early Alacrity enchantment on Imp's boots as well. It's giving him that positional edge with just that hair of extra movement speed where he can pull off these absolutely amazing mechanics. I mean, Imp is having a hell of a game.
Absolutely, man. I mean, he's 6-0-4. He just doesn't die anymore.
I mean, to come out and get that double kill too against Draven Fiddle, that is not easy. That is a brutal late or early game lane bully duo right there.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's all just a bunch of dodging. You don't really have a lot of, well, any really CC yourself other than maybe Condemn you can kind of count there. But
yeah, I mean, you got some with Thresh, but it was like not that much. And when you're dealing with a 3-second fear.
Yeah, not a lot in that particular fight anyway.
Right. He does have the cleanse for that, of course, but it's still really tough to deal with that. And Imp is doing a great job, and now he's just going to itemize straight into that QSS so he can never get hit by the Nether Grasp.
Yeah. Well, Dade taking a few hits from Bank, but they're going to put a little bit of pressure on that top lane 2-2 turret. Everybody coming up. They may want to dive this. It's looking more and more like it. Box is up for Thresh. He's got potentially a good target, but that turret still has a little bit too much health. Oh, we'll see. Start getting Death Sentence. They don't engage.
Well, yeah, you don't want to engage on the Shen under turret. The problem here with Sieges is that the counter initiate with Glacial Prison and Taunt is so huge that MVP also doesn't have the best Siege team, but they're enough ahead right now that they should be okay to group.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. And that turret's getting lower and lower. It doesn't seem like Blast can really stop him. Stark in the backline, Siegel coming in. A pretty big Glacial Prison there. Imp manages to cleanse out of it. There's a Crow Storm. Imp on the outside of the fight yet again. Many reasons slow, splashes ahead to try to get something done, but just not enough yet. Actually, a double kill for many reasons, and it looks like Blast is starting to turn this one around. Mata coming in from behind. Never mind. Oh man, Imp still staying on the back of the fight. A triple kill though for many reasons. He had a good fight. That one comes out to be about even.
And that's the difference in terms of the engage as well. That was the first time that Imp got caught in Glacial Prison, and since he doesn't have that QSS yet, he had to blow his cleanse early, which puts him in a very vulnerable situation to get follow-up from Taunt and Fiddlefear. But look at Imp's positioning again. You saw that Taunt coming out of Stark, like missed by a couple pixels right there. That's how knowledgeable this guy is about ranges of abilities. So look at this, fantastic Glacial Prison, and again, it's all about the engage with these compositions. Gets focused down immediately, and then take a look at Imp again in this fight. He really saves it, but the Malefic Vision's just kind of bouncing from person to person, giving Malzahar some really good kills. You see that miss on the taunt right there, just barely out of range.
Yeah. I mean, that was actually the second taunt that Imp dodged in that fight. In the very beginning, he after he cleansed, he immediately tumbled out of the way, too, because he knew Shen was coming in. Really, really good stuff. And, I mean, Ozone 10K ahead right now. They've got 6-2 in terms of turrets.
Well, here's the thing is that, it's a 10K difference, but we saw, again, the counter engage so strong from Zenix Blast. And even with this deficit, they were able to pull out a pretty solid pushback in that team fight and stack up a bunch of kills.
Well, that's exactly the point I was going to bring up, Monte Cristo, is that it's one of those indications that in Korea, a big gold lead doesn't always mean a real game lead.
No, and it depends entirely on composition.
Yeah.
And this is, I really, everybody who watches OGN knows how much I get excited about different kinds of compositions going at each other. And this is one of those times where it's just the engage. That is what will decide these team fights effectively, and it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, QSS is complete for Imp right now, so he'll probably be feeling a lot better. They'll need to wait to team fight until he gets his cleanse as well, though.
They're going to go after this blue buff. They're going to get it no problem. Taking that one. A lot of good warding coming out from Mata right now. Oh, he's got to be a little bit careful. Many Reason coming in on them. There's the box, the Draven ultimate. Many Reason has Zonia's. He's so low, though. Can he get away? No way. Dade takes the hope right out of Many Reason.
Yeah, Many Reason out of position right there. Not much to be said about that. He should have been They should just let the blue buff go.
It's a bit dangerous. Now it gives him a very vulnerable spot to fight from at this mid turret.
Fortunately for Xenix, they still have a lot of that counter engage, but
oh, Ozone just bullying their way right in there. They're not afraid of this at all, man. No siege, they're just bull rushing it. Nice, and they're gonna get the inhibitor too. That's it, backing off. And just that tiny little mistake from many reasons being out of position led to that easy inhibitor for MVP Ozone.
Okay. So MVP Ozone looks like they will finally be able to push through. It's going to be really difficult for Blast to come back now from an inhib deficit just because there's a real split pushing threat from MVP Ozone as well. So they've got a lot of options in terms of how they want to approach the end of this game and actually finishing it out. Imp just going to go ahead and solo Red Dragon.
Yep. Not going to be losing any health from that. And it looks like Ozone, they want to engage. Will they be able to? There's Dandy coming down with their Repel on the Stark. Quality coming in, doesn't get to ultimate mana, misses the death sentence. Where's Imp? He's on the outside, a little bit trapped against the wall, but look at the damage coming out from Ozone. And this is what you're talking about, man. Bang has to make a run for it. Point goes down, a double kill already for Imp. Can he make a triple? Double kill though for Bang as well. It just looks like MVP Ozone will not stop. And that's going to be the ace, and that's very well going to be the game for MVP Ozone. Imp does go down at the very end.
This Yorick pick was absolutely ridiculous on this team, really showing the power of a pick that we haven't seen here in Korea in quite some time.
Wow.
And this is a classic comp too, you know. Yorick Rise Vayne is not something new. This is like a mid-season 2 composition that's making a return now, and that's going to be it. Ozone will take the first game of Champions Summer.
Yeah, that's right. Quality going to come in. They do have Boink as well. He's going to try to do what he can, but I don't think he's going to save that Nexus. There it is. There it goes. GG. And our champions from the spring season win the first game of the summer season.
And they look really good while they're doing it too.
They do indeed.
They knew exactly what they had to do to engage that team. They didn't want to get caught out, so they had to use that death sentence to create a pick on their own.
Yeah.
A couple really good death sentences from Mata later, and they find themselves with a huge lead.